For all type of video and audio transfers on DVDs or CDs, please contact Joe Borg on 0414 429 391. Gday Maltaussies show. I'm Joe Borg and I'm going to be with you for another week, and I trust that you're going to enjoy the show. Sunday, we're going to have bingo at the Hamroom Club, 100 Jackson Street, Marsden Park. We're going to have free muffins, coffee, or tea, and we have 15 games, and you win good prizes, which is money. So all electronically, computerized. So when you come, enjoy playing the games and you win some money. Who knows? See you at 3:30. I am very, very much disappointed regarding the San Gaetano dinner ball. It's still a lot of tickets. I can understand why. We got good entertainment by Charlie Muscat, also the Maltese concert band. We got good food. You got 4-course meal, and no one so far argued with our food, or we took too long to serve. Everybody got served within the half an hour. So I can understand why. Please, it's your club. It's your entertainment. And if you don't want to support, so be it. We're going to open this show with a beautiful song by Charles CARUANA. Malta is my home. Malta is dirty.
I left my island long ago. Australia's where I've made my home. But every night when I close my eyes, I'm back beneath the Maltese skies. The last time I walked those streets was 73. The sea and stone still calling me. My brothers, my sisters, they're still there, and I can see their faces everywhere. My heart's still in Malta, though my body's far away. I hear the church bells ringing like they did back in the day. I wish I could hold them in the warm Mediterranean light, but the thought of that long flight keeps me here tonight. 50 years of life down here, I've had my share of joy and tears, but every meal of bread and wine takes me back in my own mind. I miss the gardens by the wall, the village square, the evening calls. Australia's been so good to me, but Malta's where I'm meant to be. My heart's still in Malta, though my body's far away. I could hold them in the warm Mediterranean light. But the thought of that long flight keeps me here tonight. If the sea was a road I could drive, I'd be home in a heartbeat alive. No plane, no fear, just wind in my hair. Back to the place where they still care. My heart's still in Malta, even after all this time. The island lives within me, in every word and rhyme. I wish I could hold them under that golden light. But for now I'll dream of Malta every single night. 50 years in Australia's land, but Malta still holds my hand.
Malta versus Gozo. Which one is for you?
In this corner, the bustling mainland, it's Malta! And in the other corner, the laid-back island, Gozo.
All things Malta.
Malta or Gozo, which one should you actually move to? Today we're going head to head, 2 islands, 1 decision, and I promise you that by the end of this video, you will know which one is for you. Most people already know the basics. Malta is busier, more developed, more connected. Gozo is quieter, greener, slower. And what I want to talk about today is the stuff which you don't always hear about, the things that will actually affect your daily life if you relocate to either island. This is actually an important decision, especially if you're an older person who's looking to retire. Choosing between Malta and Gozo will often give many of you a headache. Let's start with the obvious, and that is the ferry. If you move to Gozo, your connection to the main island is a 25-minute ferry crossing. On a sunny Tuesday morning, that sounds idyllic, but here's the bigger picture. In bad weather, the crossing can be delayed or suspended. And if you regularly commute to Malta for work, medical appointments, or for what I like to call life admin, both the cost and time burden can add up fast. There's a psychological element here too that I think is perhaps a little underestimated. Some people absolutely love the enforced slowdown. Others, say after 6 months, may start to feel a bit marooned. It's important to know which type you are before you sign a lease. Next up is driving. Are you planning to move to Gozo without a car? Then think again would be my advice. You may think because it is even smaller than Malta that you can easily get by without a car. Bus services in Gozo are often criticised as unreliable, with long waits and buses which often don't stop due to being at full capacity during the height of summer. Yes, this is also the case in Malta, but in Gozo the buses run on a much less frequent timetable. Of course, walking is an option, but I think walking in 30-degree heat or winter rain might eventually start getting on your nerves. With taxis being rare and pricey, a car is your only real ticket to freedom. The good news, there's much less traffic in Gozo when compared to Malta. You can get anywhere on the island in under 30 minutes. So yeah, in Gozo, a car is a necessity, or at least in my opinion it is. On to healthcare, and this one is particularly important, especially if you're relocating later in life, like for retirement, for example. The Gozo General Hospital is pretty good and handles a solid range of day-to-day and emergency care, but for specialist treatment, major surgery, or anything complex, you're going to have to go to MALTIJA in Malta. That's a ferry crossing plus travel time on top of whatever you're dealing with. For expats who are young and healthy, it isn't a big deal, but for retirees or anyone with ongoing health needs, you definitely might want to factor that into your decision. Here's something that surprises people. Gozo is widely assumed to be much cheaper than Malta, and for the most part it is. But in coastal areas like Schlendi, Marsalforn, the areas around Ramla Bay, prices have actually been rising quite fast, especially in recent years. Both the rental and property market has also tightened somewhat in recent years as more people have discovered the island. You can still find better value in Gozo's interior villages, but the blanket Gozo is cheaper assumption is perhaps becoming a little outdated. My advice, do your homework area by area rather than island by island. For the digital nomads and remote workers watching this, there's good news on the connectivity front. Gozo's internet infrastructure has improved significantly and fibre is available in most areas. It's not the Wild West it once was. That said, the ferry dependency still matters for your lifestyle. So client meetings, co-working spaces, networking and such like, all of that gravitates toward Malta. If your work is genuinely not dependent on location, then yes, Gozo can be a fine choice. Malta, particularly Slima, St Julian's and Valletta, has large and well-established expat communities. There are networks, regular events, sports clubs, language classes and more. The infrastructure for newcomers is pretty solid. Gozo's expat scene is much smaller and much tighter. For some people, that's actually the dream, like a close-knit group where you actually know your neighbours. Right? For others, especially if you're arriving solo, it can feel a bit isolating, particularly in the quieter winter months when Gozo really does empty out. My tip is to be honest with yourself about which environment you thrive in and which best suits your goals. Right, here's something genuinely fascinating that most people have no idea about. Gozitans don't just speak Maltese, they speak their own distinct dialect of it. While standard Maltese in the busy hubs of Malta has a modern European flair influenced by Italian and English, Gozo acts like a living time capsule for the language. So in Gozo, you'll hear a version of Maltese that holds on to its ancient roots, often sounding much closer to its original Arabic ancestors. Even the speed of life is reflected in the speech. For example, the Maltese are often seen as quick-tongued city dwellers, while Gozitans have a more unique, slow-paced, sing-song type of way of talking that perfectly matches their relaxed island lifestyle. For those of you planning to move to Gozo, the practical impact is actually very minimal. English is widely spoken everywhere, but it does tell you something important about how Gozo sees itself. It's not just a quieter version of Malta. It's a place with its own distinct identity, its own culture and its own pride. Okay, I have to talk about this because it is genuinely one of the most passionately contested topics between the two islands, and that is the FTIRA debate. Just a heads up to let you know I have created Malta Phrase Companion, a free tool with 389 Maltese phrases with high quality native Maltese voices. It's totally free and you can download it from my website and the link is in the description.
Mela. Uweya.
Now, if you've spent any time in Malta, you'll know the FTIRA. It's the iconic Maltese flatbread, ring-shaped, baked in a stone oven, used to make the classic Hobbs Biz 8 sandwich, olive oil, tomato paste, tuna, capers, olives. It was even added to UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage list in 2020, and Malta is extremely proud of this. But Gozo took the FTIRA, looked at it and said, we can do better. The Gozitan version, the FTIRA Garcia, is something else entirely. It's closer to a traditional pizza. Same dough, but baked flat, topped with sliced potatoes, onions, anchovies, local cheese, fresh tomato, and fired in a wood-burning oven. And Gozitans will tell you with complete sincerity that their version is superior. The most famous spot is Maxop Bakery in Nada, a family business that's been baking since the 1930s, and people actually take the ferry from Malta just to eat there. The Mekrem Bakery is also in Nada and is also a favourite among foodies. So if anyone asks you to choose a side, Malta FTIRA sandwich or Gozo FTIRA pizza, just know that you are being drawn into centuries of island rivalry. Choose wisely, or even better, say you love both. This brings me to a bigger point that I think is really important for anyone seriously considering Gozo. Gozitans do not think of themselves as Maltese who happen to live on a smaller island. There is a genuine, deep-rooted sense of separate identity. There are ongoing political conversations about greater Gozo autonomy. There is local pride in everything, the dialect, the food, the pace of life, the traditions. If you move to Gozo and treat it as a backdrop for your expat lifestyle without engaging with that culture, you'll miss what makes it special. But if you lean into it, you'll find a community that is extraordinarily welcoming. So let's bring this home. Here's how I'd break it down for you. Choose Malta if you want convenience, connectivity, a thriving expat scene, nightlife and accessibility. And of course, you don't mind trading peace and quiet for that energy and options. Choose Gozo if you're genuinely looking to slow down, you work remotely and don't need to be in the mix so regularly. And if you want to feel embedded in a real community rather than an expat bubble, and you're okay with the ferry being a feature of your life rather than an inconvenience, then Gozo is a viable option for sure. And here's my honest take. One is a Mediterranean powerhouse. The other is a charming time capsule. Perhaps look at it as urban sprawl versus the hilltops. Malta for the buzz, Gozo for the soul. So now you understand some of the differences between the two islands. The question is, which one most appeals to you?
Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our website if you're looking for more information and resources about relocating to Malta, or if you want to book a video consultation or purchase one of our handy ebook guides. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.
NATURA, MALTIJA wildlife in Malta. Directed, filmed, researched, written, edited by the talented SAVIOUR BONNICI.
Imma mingħajr l-istabilta tan-natura dan l-ispettaklu ma jsirx. L-unika predatur mammiferu li jiekol il-laħam. Dan ifisser li mingħajr l-eżistenza ta' ħafna annimali oħra, il-ballottra ma ssalvax. Jiddependu direttament fuq li aħna nieħdu ħsieb in-natura biex ikollhom kwantità kbira ta' priża li jistgħu jikkaċċjaw. Il-ballottra qiegħed speċi waħda minn volum kbir ta' 11,000 speċi ta' flora u fawna li nafu bihom s'issa, imxerdin madwar dawn in-naqa ta' gżejjer, bejn art, sema u ilma. Ħadd ma jaf eżatt kemm. Sallum il-ġurnata għadna niskopru speċi ġodda, uniċi fid-dinja għal pajjiżna. Madwar 5,000 speċi ta' annimali. Il-maġġoranza huma invertebrati, bħall-insetti. Mill-istess familja ħafna drabi jkun hemm għadd kbir ta' varjazzjoni. Madwar 25 speċi ta' friefet li ġew osservati pereżempju. Jew madwar speċi ta' naħla differenti. Madwar 20 mammiferu, bħall-ballottra u l-qanfut. Il-fenek salvaġġ. Bugeddum. U l-frifet il-lejl. Asafar, madwar 430 speċi ġew osservati s'issa li passew jew residenti ġo pajjiżna. Il-merir wieħed minnhom. Sitrettili fuq l-art indiġeni, bħal gremxul, il-lifa u l-wiżat. Dan mingħajr ma nsemmu dawk tal-baħar bħal fekruna komuni. Saħansitra f'pajjiż li fis-sajf jara nixfa fenomenali anfibju uniku jinnexxielu jkampa, iż-żrinġ Malti. Annimal li ma jgħix mingħajr ilma. Il-flora Maltija, likeni, fungi, pjanti vaskolari, arbuxelli, siġar, madwar 2000 speċi oħra. F'roqa art żgħira faċli ssib il fuq minn 100 speċi ta' pjanta fix-xitwa. Ejja fis-sajf u tara ħajja kompletament differenti tiddomina. Dan mingħajr ma nsemmu il-ħajja tal-kosta u l-baħar. 4000 oħra jiżdiedu mal-lesta. Dawn kollha ilhom hawn stabiliti fuq dawn il-gżejjer għal eluf kbar ta' snin. Sew qabel il-wasla tal-ewwel bnedmin. Dan li jagħmilhom indiġeni. Tal-lokal. Dan li jagħmilhom speċjali għal pajjiżna. Iqaf għal ftit u osserva. Kull fejn tħares hemm il-ħajja, anki fl-iktar postijiet urbani. X'ħin tingħata ftit żmien in-natura tibda tadatta weħda.
I met a nice local lady to show me around Gozo.
The Mediterranean has a habit of stacking history in layers. Empires come and go, armies march through, kings and merchants leave their mark, and somehow the food remembers all of it. Malta sits at the center of that crossroads. Phoenicians, Romans, Arabs, the Knights of St. John, the British, everyone passed through here at some point. But just across the water sits its quieter sibling, Gozo. Smaller, slower, and somehow older in spirit. For centuries, the two islands have been tied together. Malta became the political and commercial hub, Gozo stayed more rural, more agricultural, a place where traditions stuck around long after the rest of the world moved on. Today, we're crossing that short stretch of sea to see what Gozo looks like through its food. This episode is a collaboration with Love in Malta, and my guide for the day is Clara, a Gozotan local and one of the new faces behind all things Malta media. If you want to understand this island, she's exactly the kind of person you want showing you around. If that sounds good, let's do it.
Welcome to Gozo, and I'm with a local today who's going to take us on an amazing food tour. This is Clara.
Hi everyone, I'm Clara. I work at Love in Malta, which is Malta's biggest online social media platform, and today I am taking you on a food tour of my home island, Gozo, which is Malta's smaller, quieter sister island.
Smaller, quieter sister island.
And better.
And better. And is it tastier? I guess we'll find out. Let's go.
The ferry pulls out of Chirchewa port early in the morning. The crossing only takes about 25 minutes, but the wind coming off the Mediterranean doesn't care how short the trip is. It cuts straight through your jacket. The deck smells like salt and diesel, and it's wet with fresh morning rain. Gulls follow the boat while the island of Gozo slowly rises out of the water ahead. The harbor town of Mjar appears first. Stone houses climbing the hillsides, church domes poking above the rooftops. Even before you step off the boat, the pace feels different, quieter, a little slower, and much more Mediterranean. Our first stop takes us inland to the village of NATURA, to Mekren Bakery. From the outside, it's modest. A small storefront, a few locals coming and going. But step inside and you realize this place is the real deal. 3 generations of the same family working together, turning out bread the way they've been doing for decades and probably centuries. We're greeted by Peter, part of the family behind the bakery. His mother is out running errands, his father is prepping dough in the back. In our last video, we met his brother, another member of the same crew keeping this place running day after day. Peter is full on. He's a bundle of energy and jokes, and has become the captain of the ship here these days. At Mekren, the heart of the bakery is the oven. It's enormous, wood-fired, blackened from years of heat, and operated with massive wooden paddles, the kind of tool that looks like it belongs on a Viking ship. Peter explains that they can fit up to 47 fatiras inside at once. And on special occasions, they'll even roast an entire hog. And they were doing that today. Their specialty is Gozo Fitira, a thick rustic bread baked until the crust blisters and cracks. It's usually stuffed with tomatoes, olives, capers, tuna, potatoes, and local cheese. But you can really put whatever you want on there. They also specialize in asatat, small savory pastries filled with ricotta or peas that locals grab for breakfast or for a quick snack. It's simple food, but when it comes out of wood fire ovens like this, simplicity becomes something else entirely, and it's a bakery truly for the local community.
When I was young, I would actually climb those are the bread trees. Sorry, I was let the bread proven.
Okay.
I used to climb up there. I'd go there. That over there was open.
Okay.
It would be like my spot up there. I would have my toys while my mom is working the whole day. Yeah.
Okay.
Up there, I would say, bro.
Okay, so it's morning, which is a Gozo specialty. So, what are we doing here? What is this place?
So we are in the heart of NATURA. This is Mekren Bakery, which is a very, very, very popular bakery. It's popular with the locals, but now lately it's really picked up also with Maltese and tourists. And we're here to try the classic Gozo Fitira, which is almost like a pizza, an open pizza with tuna, anchovies, potatoes. We're meeting Peter Lee, who is a character.
Hi.
So this over here is our bakery. We have my dad, I'm lucky enough, and my mom over here. And today we're here, these guys come to do pizza with me.
It's really busy in here. What's like a regular day? Like what time do you start? What time do you finish?
Regular day, we have Santos over here. Santos comes here every day, every morning, 4 o'clock, starting to make the bread.
Okay.
So if it wasn't for him, because of him, I can come here. I start my day 6 o'clock, and I will see what happens from there.
How long have you guys been doing this for?
They opened us here. We are the 5th generation.
Fifth?
Yeah.
5th generation.
And also, there's the date written outside next to the vending machine. I will show you after. I don't know if you've seen already while coming in, but it's written 18.
Okay.
There's the date written outside.
Your brother apparently said that his pizza is better than yours. His fitira is better.
So no problem. Now we're gonna see and we're gonna find out, right?
I guess we'll find out.
You're gonna be the judge of this.
I don't know if I can be the judge, but we'll try. We'll see.
If you tried the one there, and you're gonna try the one here.
Okay. I'll let you know. I don't want to get in the middle of like a family feud situation though, you know?
A challenge is always a good challenge, you know?
What is the best-selling fitira?
The best selling fitira?
Yeah.
I would say the one we're doing right now.
Okay.
It's like the classic.
The classic. And so the classic is tuna, olives, capers, onions, potatoes?
We put just a little bit of onions as they ruin the taste. For all type of video and audio transfers on DVDs or CDs, please contact Joe Borg on 0414 429 391. Malta Revisting this summer in 1977. The history of Malta, of ancient civilization to modern nation.
Chauffin emperors, followed by the Angevins, and finally the Aragonese, all left their mark on Maltese culture and governance. During this time, Malta developed its distinctive feudal system and witnessed the emergence of Maltese as a distinct language blending Norman, Arab, and indigenous influences. Malta's most famous historical period began in 1530 when a Holy Roman Emperor Charles V granted the islands to the Order of St. John of Jerusalem, known as the Knights Hospitaller. This military religious order had been forced from Rhodes by Ottoman forces in 1522, and desperately needed a new base for their operations against Islamic expansion in the Mediterranean. The early years were challenging, as the islands were sparsely populated and poorly fortified. However, the Knights immediately began an ambitious program of fortification and urban development, recognizing Malta's exceptional strategic value. The defining moment came in 1565 with the Great Siege of Malta. Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent dispatched a massive invasion force of approximately 40,000 men to eliminate this Christian stronghold. The Knights, led by Grand Master Jean de Valette, commanded only about 9,000 defenders, including Maltese militia and Spanish reinforcements. The 4-month siege became one of history's most heroic defensive battles. Despite overwhelming odds, the defenders held their positions through extraordinary courage and tactical brilliance. The Ottoman failure to capture Malta marked a turning point in the struggle between Christian and Islamic powers in the Mediterranean and established Malta's reputation as the bulwark of Christianity. Following their victory, the Knights embarked on an unprecedented building program. They constructed the magnificent new capital city of Valletta, named after the heroic Grand Master, which became one of Europe's most impressive examples of Baroque urban planning. The city's fortifications, palaces, churches, and hospitals represented the pinnacle of 16th and 17th century military and civil architecture. Under the Knights' rule, Malta experienced remarkable cultural and economic prosperity. The order attracted the finest European artists, architects, and craftsmen. Caravaggio painted some of his greatest masterworks during his stay in Malta between 1607 and 1608. The Knights established one of Europe's most advanced hospital systems and maintained a powerful naval fleet that dominated the central Mediterranean. However, the Knights' power gradually declined during the 18th century. Changing military technology made their galleys obsolete, while European politics reduced their role as crusading warriors. The order became increasingly aristocratic and removed from its military origins. The Knights' rule ended abruptly in 1798 when Napoleon Bonaparte arrived in Malta during his Egyptian campaign. The order surrendered without significant resistance, ending 268 years of rule that had transformed Malta from a barren rock into one of the Mediterranean's most formidable fortresses. Napoleon's brief occupation proved extremely unpopular. The French immediately began stripping Malta's churches of their treasures, abolished religious orders, and imposed heavy taxation. Within months, the Maltese rose in rebellion, besieging the French garrison in Valletta with assistance from British naval forces under Admiral Nelson. The siege lasted 2 years, during which the Maltese demonstrated remarkable determination. British naval support proved crucial, and in 1800 the French finally surrendered. This marked the beginning of British rule in Malta, initially as a protectorate and subsequently as a full colony following the Treaty of Paris in 1814. British rule fundamentally transformed Malta's economy, society, and strategic importance. The islands became headquarters of the Royal Navy's Mediterranean Fleet, earning the nickname Nurse of the Mediterranean. Massive investments in harbor facilities and fortifications made Malta one of the world's most important naval bases. The opening of the Suez Canal in 1869 increased Malta's strategic value enormously, as it became a crucial coaling and supply station for ships traveling between Europe and India. The population grew rapidly, urban development expanded, and new industries emerged to serve the British military presence. Education flourished under British rule, though the colonial administration's promotion of English while suppressing Italian created political tensions and contributed to the emergence of Maltese nationalism. Constitutional reforms gradually increased Maltese participation in government, with the 1921 Constitution establishing responsible government with significant autonomy. Malta's finest hour came during World War II, when the islands endured what historians call the Second Great Siege. Following Italy's entry into the war in June 1940, Malta became the most bombed place on Earth, subjected to over 3,000 air raids during 3 years. The island's strategic position made them a crucial base for Allied operations against Axis supply lines to North Africa. British submarines, aircraft, and surface vessels operating from Malta sank hundreds of enemy ships, severely hampering German and Italian military efforts. The Maltese people demonstrated extraordinary courage despite severe shortages of food, fuel, and medical supplies. The siege reached its climax in 1942, when Malta's survival hung by a thread. The successful arrival of the American tanker SS Ohio as part of Operation Pedestal in August 1942 provided desperately needed fuel supplies and marked the turning point. In recognition of the extraordinary gallantry displayed by the Maltese people, King George VI awarded the entire population the George Cross in April 1942, the first time this highest civilian decoration had been awarded collectively. The George Cross remains on Malta's national flag today as a permanent reminder of this heroic period. The post-war period brought significant constitutional changes as Malta moved toward independence. The Nationalist Party, led by Dr. George Borg Olivier, advocated for independence within the Commonwealth, while the Malta Labour Party under Dom Mintoff initially promoted integration with Britain. The integration proposal ultimately failed due to economic and political concerns. Constitutional conferences in London during the late 1950s and early 1960s laid the groundwork for independence. The 1961 Constitution granted Malta full internal self-government. After extensive negotiations addressing concerns about Malta's strategic importance and economic viability, Britain agreed to grant independence while maintaining military bases on the islands. Malta achieved independence on September 21, 1964, under Prime Minister George Borg Olivier, becoming the smallest independent nation in the Commonwealth. The early independence period was dominated by Dom Mintoff, who served as Prime Minister from 1971 to 1984. Mintoff pursued positive neutrality, closed British and NATO bases, and sought to transform Malta's economy from dependence on military spending to tourism, manufacturing, and services. Malta became a republic in 1974, with the president replacing the British monarch as head of state. The 1980s witnessed gradual moderation of Malta's foreign policy under Edward Fenwick Adami, who led the Nationalist Party back to power in 1987. Malta applied for European Union membership in 1990, beginning a complex process of reform. A referendum on EU membership held in March 2003 resulted in a narrow victory for the Yes campaign, with 53.6% supporting accession. Malta joined the European Union on May 1, 2004, adopted the euro in 2008, and assumed the EU presidency in 2017. Contemporary Malta faces challenges common to small island states, balancing economic development with environmental protection, managing tourism pressures, and maintaining cultural identity while embracing international integration. The islands have successfully developed niche industries including financial services, online gaming, and pharmaceutical manufacturing while maintaining their position as a major Mediterranean tourist destination. Malta's history demonstrates how geography and strategic position can shape the destiny of nations. From the mysterious temple builders to the modern European democracy of today, Malta has consistently punched above its weight in Mediterranean affairs. The Maltese people's resilience, demonstrated during the Great Siege of 1565 and World War II, reflects deep cultural roots that have enabled them to preserve their unique heritage through centuries of foreign rule. Malta's journey from ancient temple complex to modern EU member state illustrates the complex interplay between local identity and international forces that shapes the modern world. As Malta continues to evolve in the 21st century, its remarkable history provides both inspiration and guidance for meeting future challenges while honoring the legacy of those who built one of the Mediterranean's most extraordinary civilizations.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more engaging historical content.
24 hours in Gozo. Most beautiful island.
Malta surprised us from the very first day. From the historic streets of Valletta to hidden beaches, dramatic cliffs and places that felt almost surreal. But there was one island we kept hearing about throughout the entire trip. Gozo. Smaller, quieter, and according to many people, the most beautiful part of Malta. We are Anya and Greg. I wouldn't eat it even if they paid me. So today we're heading on the final big adventure of this series, exploring how to make the most of 24 hours on Gozo, and the places you simply can't miss when your time on the island is limited. Definitely some of the most breathtaking landscapes we've seen during our entire time in Malta. It all starts about 50 minutes drive from Valletta, where we catch the ferry to Gozo. We are in Circeua ferry terminal. Here is where you're gonna find your ferry. The cost is approximately 20 euros for 2 people with the car, and it's paid on the way back. So you're not paying anything when you're driving in there, but on the way back they're going to charge us. For reference, the ferry cost 15.70 for the car with the driver, plus 4.65 for every additional passenger. The crossing itself takes around 25 minutes, and honestly, the views already make it feel like a completely different side of Malta. Gozo is much quieter, greener, and more focused on nature, which is exactly why we wanted to spend the next 24 hours there. We briefly passed through Victoria, the capital of Gozo, but this time we decided to focus mostly on nature and coastal landscapes. With only 24 hours on the island, we wanted to make the most of every stop. Our first stop was Tal Mixta Cave, one of the most famous viewpoints on Gozo. And the best part? Like most places on the island, it's completely free to visit.
Welcome from first stop on Gozo.
We are in Mixta Cave with a beautiful view on the beach. From the cave you get an incredible panoramic view over Ramla Bay, famous for its orange-red sand and crystal clear water. The cave itself is hidden inside the cliffs and creates one of the most photogenic spots in Gozo. Straight after that we headed to what is possibly one of the most beautiful places on the island to catch the sunset. And for the sunset, we came to Dweira Bay. Look at this light, it's so beautiful here. Let's see it from the sky. This area used to be home for the famous Azure Window, one of Malta's most iconic natural landmarks. But we'll tell you more about it when we come back here properly, in the morning. Fungus Rock quickly became one of our favorite places in Gozo. The cliffs, the colors, the light during sunset. Everything here feels amazing. And once again, completely free. After sunset, we drove to Xlendi, where we booked one night at St. Patrick's Hotel. We paid exactly 100 euros including breakfast. The hotel definitely had an old-school atmosphere. Nothing luxurious or modern, but everything was clean, comfortable, and the staff were incredibly friendly. For one night on Gozo, honestly, it was a perfectly fine. After freshening up, we were definitely ready for some food. And for dinner, we went to the cafeteria in our sanatorium, restaurant in our hotel. And we're waiting for our dishes. For starter, Anya has mussels. I wouldn't eat it even if they paid me.
Delicious.
And for the main course, Anya has ordered roasted veal with vegetables. And I went for pizza with chicken and veg. Both dishes were delicious. And the total bill came to 46.50.
Good morning, sunshine.
Good morning.
Not really today, no.
I wish there was a sunshine. This morning, Gozo greeted us with rain. At the moment, there is a cloudy sky, as you can see, but we are not giving up.
No way.
We are going to visit as much as we can. Today is the last day. This evening we are going to the airport, but this is a day 5 and we are going to exhaust it as much as we can. Come with us. Come with us. But first, breakfast, which was included in the price of the hotel. In the buffet, you could find...
For those people who can't get the Facebook, if it's on their Jobo, jew inkella on their Gday Maltaussies show. I can understand why. But if you can't tell the others to click on follow. Simple. Just click on follow and it shouldn't be any problem. The Hamroon Club in Sydney present San Gaetano Dinner Ball and Festa. Dinner dance on Saturday, 8th of August. The Maltese concert band and also Charlie Muscat. Then we have Sunday, 16th of August with a mess followed by the statue of San Gaetano. Will be out also and there for you to look at as well. Entertainment by Charlie Muscat and of course the Maltese concert band. and it's free of charge on that festa. For the dinner bowl, the members $70 and guests $75, including 4-course meal, spirits, and wine, beer, etc. For tickets or more details, please ring Joe Borg on 0414-429-391. I trust that you'll enjoy the show, and until we meet again next week, God bless. Good day, Maltese Show. For all type of video and audio transfers on DVDs or CDs, please contact Joe Borg on 0414-429-391.